Maryland governor proposes $1 billion in tax increases. Yeah, I'm all messed up. I haven't washed, haven't done anything today. So call the authorities. But anyway, I was reading this morning, and I got to do a video on it. And believe it or not, some of it I like. So from Tax Foundation, Dateline the 16th by Andrei Yushkov. All right. Yet, Andrei Yushkov, and I have no idea who Andrei is, but he's probably crushing. All right. Governor Wes Moore proposes major tax changes to address chronic budget deficits. Facing a projected $3 billion budget deficit, a $3 billion budget deficit in the state of Maryland. In fact, I wonder, check this out. So in 2025, Maryland's going to spend $63 billion, and they got $3 billion of that short. So we take 3 divided by 63. That gives us a 5% budget deficit. I mean, it's one thing for the feds to do it because they can just raise taxes and print more money. It's a different thing for a state to do it. That's crazy. I mean, they can raise taxes, but they can't print more money. Look at that. I tell you, man, this is something I've been thinking about a lot, too, because like in Maine, they're running massive deficits as well because they had all that COVID-free money that's gone now. And they were like, oh, what do we do? This is what freaking the Republicans like John, what's his name? The guy who ran John Kasich when he was governor of Ohio, and he was promoting the Obamacare stuff. Basically, it was free back then, but he knew by the time the bill came due, he'd be gone. Free because Obama basically bribed these states to take Obamacare, and it wouldn't be a cost to them until both Obama and whoever the governor was out of office, in this case, Kasich. And Kasich used to be a pretty right-wing guy, but he just, like Joe Scarborough, these guys just fell, man. They fell. It's something weird, man. And John Kasich, I'm the son of a postman. That Republican Party just can go. It just sucks, dude. I mean, they go in there like, I'm going to tear it up. And then they come out like, next thing you know, they're buddies with Obama and freaking Hillary, and the whole thing is crazy. Anyway, the most important revenue raisers for Governor Moore's tax plan are individual income tax proposals. Several structural changes are proposed, including the replacement of the 4 lowest brackets with a single 4.7. I like it. So we'll simplify the tax code. 2 additional brackets for top earners, 6 1/4 to 6 1/2, and a 1% surtax on capital gains for incomes for households earning more than $350 in federal adjusted gross income. I don't mind the increase in capital gain tax. I just think $350 is too low. But I get it, man. I mean, I think you have $1 million of income, you pay a higher capital gain rate. That doesn't bother me the least. $350 is pretty low, man. Especially you got a lot of government workers there, been working for the government for a number of years. Look, they commute back and forth to D.C. or they work at the what's the one, FDA in Rockville, Maryland, or something like that. I mean, look, you're going to tax the blue people. I get it. It doesn't bother me. But $350 is still pretty low when you have 2 employees who've been working their whole careers with the federal government. They're going to give it an extra 1% tax. I would just make it $1 million, man. But whatever, I get it. It's not going to. I mean, this is just a proposal. I also like right here too. By the way, he's going to reduce the number of tax brackets. Right here. But I want to show you something else right here, so you can see. Instead of having 2%, 3%, 4%, 4.75, we're just going to have 1 4% weight for the lower earners. That makes sense to me. I do like this, doubling the standard deduction. I do like that, which would be $5,400 for single taxpayers and what's that, $11,000 for married. I think doubling the standard deduction is absolutely the way to go. Now to increase even more. That way you're not taxing people on the lower end as much. And you can simplify it. 100%. This is a step in the right direction and generally aligns with the principles of simplicity and transparency. Yep. But it's still going to be lower than Virginia, which is an $8,000 standard deduction for singles, and D.C., which is $15,000. Wow. And it also is not indexed for inflation, which is always where they get you. Always where they get you. They don't index it for inflation. I don't have any problem with 1% surtax on capital gains. I just think it's too low in terms of $350. But be it as it may, it's just a negotiating thing. I get it. Let's see. In total, high earners, individuals with a gross income of $1 million or more living in counties with a 3.2% local income tax should expect their combined rate to be 10.7. Well, that's if you live in Montgomery County or something like that. Imagine Baltimore County. This includes a top rate of 6.5 plus the local tax and the 1% capital gain. See, this is stupid, dude. You're not paying 1% capital gain across the board. I mean, just very few people. But I get it. They're saying if that is you, you could be subject to the highest tax in any of the states. Like, so look, Pennsylvania 6.5, West Virginia 5.25, basically. Virginia 5.75, Delaware 7.25, and Maryland would be 10.7 for the highest. Yeah, okay. I mean, I get it, but let's see here. The counties in Maryland have a localized income tax, and this is just a rate. I don't know what the in terms of how much the income they tax. I don't know, but where I went to high school, Montgomery County, of course, they have the max 3.2%. PG County 3.2, but here's Frederick County 0.225. And again, I'm not sure what's I don't know what non-residents 2.25. Worcester County, wherever the hell that is. Talbot, where's Baltimore County? 3.2, of course. All the blue counties, Anne Arundel County, all the blue counties have the highest rate. So they do got to pay. Let's see here real quick. We're gonna go right here. Click on this guy. This is Montgomery County, and let's take a gander. But Montgomery County is also allowing the same standard deduction. 15% of the gross income with a minimum of $1,800 and a max of $2,700. I guess that's per person. So yeah, there they go. They do get you 3.2. They get you coming and going in the state of Maryland, that's for sure. But be it as they get great services, Josh. Here's the big issue to retain high net worth taxpayers is not the stupid capital gains tax. That's 1% on capital gain, all right? The issue here is this right here. They're going to get rid of the inheritance tax, but they're going to lower the estate tax exemption in the state of Maryland. I tell you, man, that's a problem. So let's take a look at Maryland's estate tax. Way higher than I thought. I remember Maryland used to be like $1 million. Hey, we're good for you. So $5 million, the estate tax exemption. Yeah, and it's 10 million for married couples. So I assume that's portable. So if you don't, so basically you used to have these things like Q-tips and things like that nature. Before we had portability. Portability just means if Josh dies with $5 million, I can leave my $5 million exemption to my wife. So when she dies, she can have a $10 million exemption. Anyway, that's pretty good. So Maryland's raised their estate tax exemption. Hey, buddy. Anyway, so if they reduce that, it probably, I don't know, 3, something like that. But anyway, so there you go, man. So Maryland is proposing a large-scale tax increase. But when you think about it, $1 billion in taxes, what does the guy say here? He's going to propose $1 billion, $1 billion in proposed tax increases, but the deficit's $3 billion. I mean, you're going to have to get that money someplace, dudes. And you can issue bonds all day long, but at some point, bonds got to be paid back. At some point, these states are going to cut their budgets. And you know what the biggest, I bet we look at Maryland's budget. I'm going to predict Medicaid, is their biggest expense. Interestingly enough, Maryland only spends, $5 billion on Medicaid, and the federal government kicks in the other $10 billion. So I'm looking at California spends $38 billion on Medicaid, and the federal government kicks in 81. Look at Ohio, you freaking clowns. Look. Ohio, the stupid John Kasich. They're the number 1, 2, 3, 4 on Medicaid, and I'm telling you, they're just idiots. That is going to be. See how it's black? That's the state. The blue is the feds. It's going to start flipping, man. That's because they all bought into the Obamacare stuff. Anyway, so Maryland's right now. This is in 2022, so I don't know what it is in 2024, but Maryland spends $5 billion of their budget. I wonder if we can find out 2024. They're $14.6 billion in 2023. Nuts. So basically, whoa. So what's going on here is they lost that Obamacare stuff. That's crazy. I typed in Medicaid. There's 65 references in Medicaid for the state of Maryland's budget. State program for funding opportunities implemented to improve maternal health and respond to worsening racial and ethnic disparities in maternal mortality rates. Maryland persistently records 2 times higher maternal mortality rates among non-Hispanic black people compared to non-Hispanic white people. Most recently, disparity has grown to over 4 times. Wow. Multiple pieces of legislation. We're going to legislate morality, I guess. Mortality, I guess, against mortality. Multiple pieces of legislation and fund. Okay, whatever. Just cigarette restitution fund. Crazy. Yeah, right here. The governor's allowance includes deficiency appropriations total $557 million. Maryland's chip, dude. Medicaid provider reimbursements, $11 billion. Nuts, man. I just, these blue states and the red states who fell for the Obamacare stuff, your tax, I mean, they're going to go up, man. There's no other way around that. So, no. If you live in a state that has an income tax, well, it doesn't matter that. You're going to go up somehow. By hook or by crook, they're going to get money from you. That's just a fact. So the way I always argue is you pay it now while you got the money coming in, so you don't have to pay it later when the money isn't coming in. You're just pulling off your portfolio. All right. Love your thoughts. God bless. We'll see ya. Don't forget to smash the like button.